I'm Rita Meyer, and I have lived in Wyoming about 4 decades, rolled across the border from the sandhills of Nebraska. I served as Wyoming's state auditor. I was also chief of staff for Governor Jim Geringer during his administration, so I've served in those 2 capacities in state government. I also have had a career in the military, 23 years, and then I also have been out in the private sector, in private sector business. So those are kind of the 3 career streams for me. Very distinct, but also all 3 of those careers are centered on people. It always is. It's always about people. It's about a finite budget. It's about a plan, and it's about execution of a plan. Somebody that really inspired me in my high school years was a civics teacher called Mrs. Coates. She nominated me to attend what was called then a global summit. I was a really poor kid, wasn't noticed much, or so I thought in high school. You know, I wasn't a standout, and I didn't have the money to go to things like that. I wouldn't even have known that something like that existed, but she recognized that I had something that I didn't even recognize in myself, that I was just a little different and that I had potential, and I've never forgotten. I would say in the military, General Schwarzkopf, when I was deployed, was a phenomenal leader to serve under. I would also say that Colonel Dave Freested in the Pentagon, I had a tour at the Pentagon in the counter-drug arena. He really helped me understand the workings of the Pentagon and the workings of the counter-drug operation. And in terms of my service as an elected official, Thyra Thompson, who had served as Secretary of State, was an extremely important role model in my deciding to run for public office. And during that election cycle, when I experienced a lot of really tough days, she was always available. I would say that mentoring is really, really important to me. And every week I have at least 3 to 5 mentees that I work with. And I take great pride in their accomplishments. Not only do I hope to impart some type of experience and wisdom to them, but also they help to energize me. My favorite thing about working with people is diversity across how people think, how they come to the table, the experience they've had, and the energy that people bring to the table. Sometimes I lose a lot of energy as I work through a day, and there's never a time when there isn't some person that re-energizes me again. One thing you have to learn is to be very flexible and be attuned to the needs of your workforce. Nobody leaves all their baggage at the gate in the morning, and you have to be able to flex and accommodate that to absolutely get the best out of the folks that are coming to work that in a given day. Now in the workplace, we probably have fewer people to get the job done than we've ever had, and you really need to understand what drives people, learning what the carrot is for them, learning what keeps them coming back, what keeps them producing. I always say you go to war with the army you're given. I always say if you serve in the military, it's your spouse back home that has the toughest job of all. So it was my husband that really afforded me the opportunity to do that, because I didn't have to worry that our son wasn't being taken care of. I didn't have to worry about the bills at home. I didn't have to worry about keeping a household running. He did all that, and I am forever grateful for his support. You have to have that extended family. No matter what that family looks like, it's really important to have that family support, frankly, in anything you do. So I'm very grateful for all of those who helped me. I think business leaders already know what we need. They're out there every day in the process of recruiting and training and retaining. I would say to government to ask the business leaders that are making a payroll every couple of weeks. They already know what's needed. Hope is not a method. You need to have a plan. You need to set a high bar for yourself and for others. And I would just leave it at that.